Το χειρότερο είδος Κυπρέας η Εγγλέζο-Κυπρέα.
Yep. Yep. Το χειρότερο
But you need to be strong past this. And
well,
like,
you know, I don't care because I don't...
When we done my podcast και μίλησα Εγγλέζικα, Chárliga,
Yeah.
είχα σύντζε παράπονο.
Ah, there were.
Yeah.
Because ήταν να σου πω that if you go into your TikTok video, no one has commented on your language. Whereas with me, half the comments are... Better, why? Why?
My accent is better than
No,
yours.
dude.
I sound much better.
No, it's because you have a penis and I have a vagina, that's why.
I don't take coffee, I take tea, my dear. Tea, my dear. I'd like my toast on up one side. On one side. You could dip it in my accent when I talk. I'm an Englishman in New York.
What's happening in August?
This guy is going to New York. And I want to go as well.
Ah, του does?
Yeah.
He's planning on it.
How close do we need these?
Τζαμέν καλά νομίζω.
I talk loud anyway.
I talk loud as well.
Kadishim must.
Κατήσι μας.
I can't believe you've got notes.
Έλα σου πω, I always have notes because I have notes about everything. I have a total of 5 different notebooks. Έναν πράγμα για το καθένα. So I have one notebook for my podcast, one notebook for my blog, one notebook for my kids, one notebook for me.
Don't you use like Google Keep or something?
No.
Because what if you forget your
Pen to
note?
paper, dude.
Yeah, I know, but like if you forget
Different.
your book at home.
Και με μου πεις και audiobooks και Kindle και μπελάρες.
Kindle...
I need to hold a book in my hands.
All right. I'm bringing out a book.
Ναι.
Yeah, well, I'm editing the video now. It's like, but it's my own book. It's Souvlagi's book.
The title is Souvlagi's book?
No, the title I can't say because it's going to give away the video, so
Okay.
I'm going to have to wait. But it's a video and then it might turn into a book. Yes, please. Thank you. Oh, are we recording?
Yeah.
I love this.
Yee.
All right.
So,
let's do this.
let's do this.
I'll leave it to you.
Cuz.
Auntie.
Auntie.
Auntie, but you're my cousin.
Είμαι η θκιά του. So, second cousins με τον παπά σου.
Yeah, like we're going to call it cousin. So
We're going to call it cousin there so you don't make me feel bad.
And odd.
Right, να πούμε as well that this is going to be right off the bat, or this is going to be a podcast in Gringlish.
Ναι,
Chárliga. Για να μην φύγει κανένας και μας πει τίποτε. Right, before να πούμε τη λέξη Chárligo.
Άρχισες. Edit, cut, reverse.
Right, our original thought was γιατί μας λαλούν τσαρλούθκια?
Well, I'm
Γιατί μας λαλούν τσαρλούθκια? Ας πούμε, ποιος είναι ο Chárli και λαλούν μας τσαρλούθκια?
Well, all of the people that replied to me, which is what I thought as well, is Prince Charles.
It is Prince Charles.
Well, I've Googled so many things and then like I got like quite deep into the web and then like I was just like,
Okay.
I ended up like reading
So,
about Charlie Sheen and shit.
να ανακαλύψεις, what did you find out?
Well, yeah, it's just basically, well, not found out from Googling, but like from people that replied to me, like a lot of people were saying Prince Charles. Someone said Charlie Chaplin, but makes no sense because he's American, I guess.
Is he?
I think so.
Ναι.
And someone was like, your mum. All right. I was like, all right. Whatever.
Your mum?
Yeah. Don't worry, it was my brother that said it.
Η μάνα σου. Yeah.
What else? I've got some screenshots
Να
as
σου
well.
πω what I found, because I did some digging as well. And it seems that a lot of people are saying that it does come from Prince Charles, but it also has kind of a bit of like political connections as well, because θεωρούμαστε τσαρλούθκια Chárlies. It's not something that's a good way to characterize us. Γιατί τα τσαρλούθκια were considered traitors επειδή εφύγαν από την Κύπρο, right? So επροδώσαν την Κύπρο και γίνηκαν του Charles. So that's where it comes from. So it's actually derogatory. It's not something that we should be saying, yes, είμαστε Chárlies.
even though, I don't know, it's like, it's just a word at the end of the day, isn't it? But that's if it's actually from there. Do you know what I mean?
So the other thing that I came across was apparently because there were a lot of haralambi.
Yeah.
And in England they couldn't say that, so they just switched it to Charles or Charlie, which doesn't make really sense because it's more Harry, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you heard that funny one?
What?
I think it's like a little Cypriot joke, inside Cypriot joke about us. Is someone told? I don't know why I find it so funny.
Yeah, go on.
All right, so I don't have to read it. So basically, a Cypriot went.
I think I've got food in my teeth. Sorry, I'm just going to check. No, I don't. Okay.
Just checking for the food in the teeth.
Yeah,
people.
no food there. It's okay. Go on.
So this is like an 80s joke, you know, that goes around all the Cypriots, and I remember hearing it. And basically, a Cypriot went to England, and while he was in the toilet, you know, a mum shouted into the toilet to her son that's in a cubicle, obviously in the toilet, going, "Charlie, eshes." And Charlie responded, "No, mummy, I got my sfingume." And this is the joke that all the Cypriots say, this is where Charlie came from. I don't know why I find it funny.
I've heard that story.
Yeah.
I've heard the story of, oh, you done darling mo eshes.
And it's like, no, mummy,
no,
I got my
mummy.
sfingume.
Okay.
I don't know. And then this Cypriot went back to Cyprus, and it was like, there's a kid there, Chárlíes, and his finger there. Like.
So it would be interesting if anyone knows where the...
It does sound quite plausible, the one you said about being traitors and stuff like that. So this must have been what year? That 74, let's say, or...
Oire, before that.
Oh, what, this
it
is
was
the 50s.
during the Olga struggle that a lot of them left. And again in 90s, like my yaya and bapo left, I think it was 1960. So it was like when the independence came along, 1960, 1961.
I need to...
Because my mum was born in 55 in Cyprus. My mum was born in Cyprus. My dad was born in England.
My dad was born in England, but my bapo was a yoga, and he did get captured by the English.
Really?
Yeah, he married my yaya in prison, and then they ended up in England. So I don't really call him a traitor if you're getting caught and everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
So it's just the way things turn out, I guess.
So when did you move to Cyprus?
I moved when I was 11, so some years ago. Got to watch out for the age, you know. 1999.
Go on, let's say your age.
I'm 33.
You're 33?
But I look 23.
Yeah, you do.
So
I'd say 19.
Μεταξύ.
No. Right, 33.
Yeah,
39.
So I moved in 1999. I thought my dad basically kidnapped us. We thought it was a holiday. And then when we got here, he was like, yeah, we're not going back. And I was in Ormithia. There wasn't a lot of cars, you know. There wasn't a lot of cars. It was like people just walking around. There was like little arcades. It was a more happy time, I think. I really miss it. I really like the olden days, let's say.
For
Bloody
me,
hell, I'm old.
For me, For me, it was a culture shock there because when we left England in, I think it was 1991, so I was about 10 years old. And we moved from Croydon because we were living in Croydon where I was born.
Ghetto.
Lovely little area.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay. And I was born at the same hospital that Kate Moss was born, in case no one knows that. Now you do. Anyway, and moving to Cyprus and moving to Ormithia was like such a culture shock.
I think
it was such a shock for me.
Did you, like with me, I know like my dad was like, oh, we're not moving, we're not like going back. But for me, like it just felt like a bit of a holiday at the beginning. Yeah. Because when we first moved here, like we didn't have any money. So me and my brother didn't go to school for a good, I don't know, just under a year. And my dad was working, he was washing cars at one point for 1 lira an hour. And he was going out doing karaoke, just leaving us in the apartment. So I don't know, it just felt like a little bit of a holiday at the beginning. And then we went to the American Academy for 2 years. Yeah. So they didn't throw us into public school. I went to Med High. Oh. Did you? Yeah, in Larnaca. Well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't know. Could they sue me for saying it's crap?
They still
or was crap?
It was. It's better now.
Yeah, like when I first moved and we went there, they were like, yes, in 1 year our school premises is going to move. You know, and we're going to have big like
Basketball
pitches
courses
and all of this and that. Still in the same place, like 20 years later.
That's the Cypriot mentality, isn't it?
Σιγά σιγά.
Σιγά σιγά να το κάνουμε.
But you know what? I then moved to Jiddi. So I lived in Jiddi for like 10 years. And, you know, regarding all this, do you know what I think it is? People that live in England, they don't hear the term Charlie too much because they're in England and they're Chárlιες together, you know? And they're not going to call each other Charlie.
Yeah.
Us that we live in Cyprus, like me growing up, I never got offended by the word. I never, you know, ever felt like it was said to me in an offensive way. Like sometimes, you know, like it depends the way the person says it. But when I lived in Jiddi, it was just me, my brother, and my friend Valentino. And it took us a couple of years to actually become part of the village and like, you know, go into the gafene and everything. And then when the boys end up turning around and go, Charlie, no, Charlie's todos, you know, it's not like they're saying he's a Charlie. It's like, it's our nickname. And I felt like,
yeah, but
I felt respected.
Oh, did you? I was going to say, did you ever feel that you were part of that?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, well, we used to get beaten up a lot from the same people. I remember I told Jan, we got beaten up by the boys in the village a lot. And then we started playing football for Spartago. And then we just, you know, became part of the, you know,
so you
part
were,
of the village.
You were bullied?
Yeah, but I don't think it was because I was okay, maybe it was. Because I was a Charlie.
It was.
Because I was different and they didn't really know, you know. But then once we started playing football and getting part of the Horko, they respected us.
Yeah, there was common ground there.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you that, did you ever feel that you were foreign in England?
All the time, even though I look like this, all the time. You know,
that's the interesting part. So when we were discussing about sharing that we were going to do this interview today and we wanted people to share their experience as well. Well, first of all, it turns out that I don't have that many English Cypriot followers apparently because I only got a couple of messages. And this is actually the first time that I'm opening up about my English Cypriot background. I think people either think that I am 100% Κυπρέα or 100% Εγγλέζα. However, up until now, είμαι 40 χρονών and I still get people saying ότι φακάει η γλώσσα μου.
Yeah, well,
did you ever get that? Φακάει η γλώσσα σου.
My glossa just about works, you know what I mean?
All over the place.
Everyone just knows. They don't know where I'm from. They're like, are you Russian? Are you English? They don't know what.
So what I was going to say is that the common experience that I have discovered is that we've always felt that we are neither there nor here. Mm-hmm. We never belong. I've always felt, coming to the realization now, that I've never really belonged in 100% in the Greek Cypriot community and never 100% in the English community. Yeah. So in England, I was the Greek one. Okay. And then in Cyprus, I was the English one. And the thing is that when I did eventually go into public school, I got the charlua a lot. And I remember asking my parents, who's Charlie? Ποιος είναι τούτος και φωνάζουν μας Charlούθκια all the time. I remember my parents really didn't have an answer to that. But I always got αν είσαι από την Αγγλία γιατί είσαι ξάθη. Γιατί δεν έχεις γαλάνα μάθηκια. Είσαι πλούσια. Apparently coming from England, έπρεπε να είσαι πλούσιος.
Ναι, fish and chips και ούλα τούτα.
You know, ναι, και όλη μέρα τρώτε fish and chips, εσείς όλη μέρα τρώτε σουβλάκια δηλαδή.
I don't know, it's like...
Stereotypes.
Yeah, there's stereotypes in every nationality. Do you know what? I am a comedian. I plan to be a comedian. So I've always wanted to be a comedian, so I can't let things offend me. Because if I can I'll be a really bad comedian if I get offended.
I know.
I like the term.
But what I'm saying is that
I worked hard to be a Charlie and to be called Charlie. And I know what you mean about
you're embracing it now. But that's what I'm trying to say, that I think that we've finally gotten to the point now. I don't know if it's age. I don't know if it's experience. I don't know what it is where, and I've been, since we talked about doing this podcast, I've been thinking about it so much that, you know, this is our heritage. Yeah. This is our family's history. I can't cancel the fact that my yaya and bapo left Cyprus for a better life. All right? They borrowed money. My yaya had 4 kids and 1 in her belly. And she had to travel. Moni this, by the way, because Chindongerone ξεχωρίζαν τους άντρες που τις γενέτσες. So my bapo got to travel on his own with the men. Whereas my yaya
had that many kids. Maybe it was a good idea at the time. You know what I mean?
But she was pregnant already. She was pregnant already. But 4 kids and a huge belly and traveling from Cyprus to England. And then me getting to the point in my early teens where I was like embarrassed by this and the fact that I wasn't 100% that or 100% this. And now coming, you know, doing the whole full circle and coming to the fact that this is my heritage. Yeah. And I grew up on words like fishadigo and friza. We're going to go into the words because they're just so good. But these were ways that our grandparents and, you know, not our parents so much, but our grandparents just found a way to become part of that community, even though they had no clue what a bloody landlord was in Cyprus. That word wasn't even a word in Cyprus, Jindonjera. So when they turn around and call, they used to call the landlords lalos or lalos. You know, we're laughing, making fun of it, you know, and you've got all these people making fun of the English Cypriot dialect and all this Gringlish, but those were coping mechanisms.
I feel like they've actually gone into the Cypriot, dialect, let's say now as well. You know, even...
Thank you.
Like you said the other day to me, what was it? Nabarcaro. And I honestly thought that was Cypriot. I didn't know that was a thing that we made up, because even my Cypriot friends, like, they're not English or Chárlíes.
Exactly.
They were like,
exactly. You know? So for you to come and say that I am not using the language properly, or that I am lacking knowledge or education due to the way that I am speaking, please pay attention to the fact that English is actually in the everyday Cypriot dialect.
Do you know, like, London slang, like they say wagwan and all of this, and it's Jamaican words.
Yeah.
But it's into, like, the English dialect now, like the way people talk and man them and all of this. I feel like that's what's happened in Cypriot. Like, we've made up these, like, words, and now they've slowly gone into.
But do you know what you were saying about my notes earlier? I didn't take that many notes, but one of the things that I did note today was that there are a couple of thousand Gringlish words circulating right now in our community, in our society.
Okay,
and it's not.
We're gonna go through them. And
we're gonna go.
Have you ever made up a word? Or
said it. You make up words all the time when you put the ing at the end. So
I put an S. My friend told me not to say this, but
you're going to say it, obviously,
because we were talking about, like, underwear and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, na forumentanges. Like, I put the S at the end.
Okay, the plural.
Yeah, like, because in English you put an S at the end and it's plural, so I do it in Cypriot as well. Just shove an S at the end. But there's danga, and then danges is not plural, is it?
There is no plural.
But it makes sense in my head. Danga. Danges.
Do you also say fish and fishes?
Well, that's real, isn't it? Fishes. And we love fishes, isn't it?
Is it? I think it's
Sarkes.
Just fish. Sarkes, oh my God. No.
Yeah, but the people that talk to me, they just understand what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean?
I'm trying to think of something that my mum or dad would say. So I think, so I don't know, off the top of my head now, she's cutting like bread. And I'm like, Mum, what are you doing? Going. This bread, going.
Yeah, but see what I mean? It's just like you're putting it together. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because this is the thing that my friend said. My friend hates the term Charlie.
There are a lot of people that do.
And he's a Charlie. I done a poll. It was 80% they didn't find it offending, and 20% they...
80%?
Yeah, they didn't find
Out of
it
how many people?
I think it altogether was about like just about 1,000 people.
Oh, wow. So that's not
and
little.
And he was like, because I don't think that a Charlie is an Ingleso Kipreo. Because there's a lot of Chárlιες, let's say, that are Kiprei. But they left and went to live in England for a better life, like you said, correct?
Yeah.
So like, but his thing is, to be a Chárli, you have to be an Ingleso Kipreo, which is not the case. Like me, I'm not an Ingleso Kipreo. Like my mum's Italian, my dad's Cypriot, but I was born in England, which makes me, and I came over here, which makes me a Chárli.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that's why when you can't call someone, he's Ingleso Kipreos. Like you can't say that to me because, then he meant. You know, I'm not going to go, I'm Italian Cypriot.
So,
he made Chárlies.
Okay, so you're not English Cypriot because your parents were not born in England? Is that why you're saying?
No, my mum's full Italian.
Yeah.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like there is, like your dad is.
That's what I was going to say. So my dad was born in England.
Yeah, but he's Cypriot.
But he comes from a Cypriot background, yeah.
And your mum is Cypriot.
And my mum was born in Cyprus, yeah.
Exactly.
So, κανονικά έπρεπε να ήμουν Κυπρέα.
Είσαι Κυπρέα, αλλά because, so the Charlie is just growing up or born in England and then moved to Cyprus. It's not that you're English Cypriot.
No.
Yeah, that's what I think anyway.
So that's why you embrace the
word Charlie, because it's Ingleso Kipreos. I'm going to go into it now. Είμαι Ιταλό Κυπρέος, αλλά γεννήθηκα Αγγλία. I'm not going to... Είμαι Charlie.
I mean,
now they just know that I was in England, now I'm not. And that's it.
That, having to say your background, πρέπει να εξηγήσεις. Like, okay, είσαι Charlua? Not really. Αφού βακάει η γλώσσα σου ή αφού γεννήθηκες Αγγλία. Ναι, αλλά my parents have a background, a Greek Cypriot background.
I feel like it's Charlie and Charlua, Charluthia. I feel like it's like a mini nationality now. That's the way it's become. It's not become a caste. It's not become anything. I remember a story. When I was a kid, we used to get beaten up nearly every weekend from a bunch of Kiprei. And this one guy, I won't say names or anything, but my friends and my brother remember, they used to always try to find us and just have fight with us for no reason.
Pick a fight for no reason.
And then, we didn't see him for ages. And like life was amazing and beautiful. And then one day, I was in a club and I saw him. I was like, oh, shit. And he came up to me and he was like, hello, man. How are you, re? And I was like, I'm good. And he goes, yeah, I go England. Like, he found out his auntie's Charlua, bien a mini Anglia, 1-2 years, just in piece of Chárlíes. And he was beating us up for most of our childhood. Chárlíes, you know, but that's, I remember back in the day, my head just goes to different subjects. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
It's even the way we dress. It's the way we like hold ourselves, let's say. And I remember back in the day when the Kiprei were wearing flares.
Yeah.
We weren't wearing flares.
Yeah.
You know, we were wearing, Nike, this, Adidas, Fila, all of this stuff. Or I don't know, back in them days, maybe it was like high tech and stuff like this. And Elise.
LA gear. Allah, you're younger than me. We had LA gear. Do you remember LA gear?
LA gear.
Oh my God. Φάνηκε η ηλικία μου τώρα. Ρε, εσύ θυμάσαι τα LA gear?
Ναι.
Με τα ράματα, με τα φιονκούθια. Oh my God, ναι.
No, the pump, I think, yeah, but this LA gear. Πριν τον καιρό μου.
Πριν τον καιρό σου.
Huh?
He's 33.
Yeah, I'm a kid.
Μωρό, ρε. Έλα σου πω, did you change your accent?
What, when I came over here?
Αν μίλας αγγλικά in Cyprus, would you change your accent or would you speak with an English accent?
I don't like it that people that they change their accent.
I used to do it. There's a word for that, by the way, and I was going to Google it before I just there's a word for that. I used to do it. I was embarrassed to speak with an English accent. And whenever my friends would come over to my house and my mum and dad would speak to me in English, because δεν ήθελαν να καταλάβουν οι άλλοι να μπουλαλούσαν. So they would switch to English as if they can't understand English. But anyway.
When you said change, oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I always felt, I mean, it just goes to show how fucking troubled I am, but I felt embarrassed. I didn't like that my mum would speak with an English accent. I didn't like the fact that I was different. Yeah, I'm seeing someone about that.
Yeah, you should.
I am.
When you say change your accent, just the way you speak to someone, or
So,
the way that you're heard?
No, the way I speak to someone. If I was speaking to someone who I know isn't English or American or has the pronunciation and the accent that I do, I would change it and I would talk like this and slowly.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
To cover my accent.
I would always keep my accent, but it would be stages. Keep the accent, see if he understands. If he doesn't,
check
then
it out,
slowly,
test the waters.
Yeah, slowly roll your R's, and then like I done that video about Charlie disorder. So like
the undercover Charlie, I love that.
I'll just talk to them normally. If they don't understand, I'll be like re do do shark. If you didn't know, and just roll your R's and everything. I don't know.
I think maybe I was made fun of it. Maybe I was made fun of, and that's why. Because the thing is that I always felt that people thought that I was showing off by speaking in an English. No, because it's Anglicaje.
But are you fluent in Cypriot, in Greek?
Both languages, reading, writing.
You could hide because you look Gibrea. Me, I can't hide.
Why? What the hell do you look like?
Look at the state of me.
Kochinogolos.
Yeah, they call me that as well. I get called Kochinogolo. Family call me Kerleji and Gastrishi.
Gastrishi.
So I look like this. So they knew that a full Cypriot accent wasn't coming out of my mouth. They just knew it. But do you know what? I feel like however any one of us grew up, that's what made us really. And I never changed or was different for any reason. And the people in the village and when I went into the army, they just accepted me. And
you weren't bullied in the army?
Before I went to the army, everyone was like, be careful. He said, Chárlies, they're not a biraksun, da, 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 da. I go into the army, they love me. I was just myself and just had fun. And I was Charlie. I liked it. I had a nickname. There was a guy in there called Cochinis because he had red hair. And they called me Charlie. You know what I mean? Some people had worse nicknames than me. So Charlie was okay. People actually thought it was my name at one point. Because it's a name. What happens to people that are called Charlie and they're Chárlíes? You know what I mean? It's just...
I don't know. I feel that I was always on a battling ground with the two languages, with the way I grew up. So most of my childhood, my first 10 years of my life was spent in England.
No.
So for me, comfort food is shepherd's pie.
I love shepherd's pie.
It's not souvlaki, toad in the hole.
But it is souvlaki.
No,
if you had a choice, Dora.
You know what I was going to tell you? Something that you might not know about me and you might get up and leave right now is that I don't like frappés. Please don't leave.
But why not?
I don't like it.
Is it...
Is
it who makes it?
No, I just don't like the drink. I mean,
Indo Nescafe? Vale Gadiallo.
Nescafe. First of all, Nescafe is like the worst type of coffee that you could possibly drink.
Talking about coffee.
I would like some extra ice and Borina Ferry.
I like the way that he's the boss here and we're like, can we have some ice? I was gonna say.
What were we saying? Yeah, I don't like frappé, man. I don't like it. I haven't had a frappé in years. It's disgusting.
And you're gonna love it.
Can you make it with almond milk?
Yeah.
Or oat
I
milk?
say almond. Do you say almond?
Almond.
I'm gonna give her another complex now. I'm sorry.
Go on.
No, with your accent, the way you pronounce things.
No, it's cool. That's the other thing that my accent and certain things that I say in English as well, some of it might be dated, because I haven't lived in England since I don't remember
any of my England years. I grew up in Cyprus. I am Cypriot.
No, I've got memories. I used to go to an all-girls school.
Nah.
So imagine, not only did I have the shock of moving from London to Ormithia, I also had the shock of there's boys in this school.
Nah.
I hadn't seen boys in a school ever.
And I bet they were like 13, beards with cigarette, just smoking and everything.
Actually, not really. Do you know who I used to go to school with at the American Academy? Do you remember Blue, the pop group?
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Greek Cypriot in Anthony Costa? He was in my class.
What, in England?
In Cyprus, in the American Academy.
Oh,
he was in Cyprus, Jindon
Yeah.
Jeddah. Yeah. Anyway, should we say a few of our Bemo, you want to say something
I
else?
just wanted to say one thing. The only thing I was going to say is, so we've both basically said, we're not, 1 minute, you haven't really said, are you offended by the word Chárlua? Or how do you feel about it personally? Because you haven't, I don't think you've said.
It's an interesting question because,
you've said all this other stuff,
yeah, no, it isn't. I don't know. I have bad memories of it. Being a young girl in Cyprus and never actually fitting in anywhere. So,
but is it with the word not fitting in, or is it by getting?
So I don't know if I am, and ταυτίζω τη λέξη Chárlua with those bad memories, or if I think I've gotten to the point where I'm okay with it.
All right.
I'm okay with it because, yeah, I won't take offense to it because that means that I'm offended then by my family's history, and everything that my yaya and bapu went through. And I lost my yaya 2 months ago, and
sorry to hear.
Thanks. And all these words that she used to say, and I always used to feel a cringe that she would use them. All of a sudden now they have the utmost importance to me. That's my background, that's my history, that's how I grew up. I grew up with my yaya not saying astinomikos, saying polishmanos.
Because she tried, but your yaya would never have been called a Chárlua.
No!
Don't you think that's weird how it skipped the people that actually went to England and it stuck with
certain generations, certain ages.
It only started once, I guess, we came back to Cyprus.
Yeah, it was out. It's the first generation that came back. It was with us that it started.
I think offense is subjective.
Yeah.
And it depends on the context it's said. So, but with me, because like I said, I want to be a comedian, anyone can say anything in whatever context they want to me. But at the same time, I was going to say, would you refer to someone like me or someone like you or, who's English Cypriot, would you refer to them as Aisa Charluin? Aisa Chárlua? Yeah, it's a Chárlui, yeah.
Would you? I've never used it.
My friend, Valentino, he's like, mine and his nickname was Charlie in the village.
Yeah.
Or Valentino's or Chárlies.
Oh, okay.
He's just moved to England now with his wife and kid, and she's full Kiprea. I was like, na bais pochechina yinis Chárlua. She's like, nena, Chárlua. So
it's funny you say that because my dad still has a nickname, Andreas or Inglesos.
Yeah, I prefer to be called a Charlie than an Ingleso. Because I'm not really an Ingleso.
Yeah.
I have nothing against it, but I've, people, because of my colour of my skin as well, some people think I'm Russian. Some people think I'm like from another Eastern European or Polish or something like that. They make fun of me and my friends, Polish Pete, because I'm white.
Really?
And so to be called a Charlie, I'm happy with it.
Okay.
To be called anything else, call me anything you want. I don't care.
Yeah, I suppose it wouldn't offend me if someone said I Chárlua Dudi because that's it. I had it a lot with my TikTok video that Yanno put up after our... Do you want to go? Because I don't have TikTok. Personally, I find it a toxic environment. I'm not going there. But
it's like little kids just going in. They're going in hard as well.
If you read the comments on my TikTok video where
Netcast,
where I was speaking in both languages because that is the way that I speak. How many people use the term Chárlua, or how many people had a go at me for speaking both languages? So I got caught. I think one of the
comments do that.
Πώς αρέσει?
There's you at home crying and Jan's like, yeah, comments.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Βέτα. Έλα σου πω, επερίμενες όμως. Επερίμενες το ρατσιστικό. Επερίμενες το. Εγώ δεν το περίμενα. I knew that people would have a go at me for what I was saying about the whole tennis thing and women and men, but I didn't know that I would get comments like το χειρότερον είδος Κυπρέας ή Εγγλεζοκυπρέα. I mean, come on. Και απαντά του κι άλλος που κάτω, ναι ρε μαλάκα, ας πούμε. I mean, why? Γιατί είμαι το χειρότερον είδος Κυπρέας?
This is funny.
Don't look at me like that while you read it. Read it.
No, like, all right, my reading the Greek is my reading the Greek is not too good.
He is going to read the Greek now.
Αλλά τώρα έκαμε, someone, I think, I don't know, πολύ English έπαιζε inside σε αυτό το broadcast.
Broadcast, ρε.
Σα περιβέζεται. I mean, αν είσαι ψαγμένος, if you speak half εγγλέζικα, half ελληνικά, εκτός αν είσαστε Chárlιες.
Right, thank you. Yeah. Let's just stay on this bit because I found something really interesting today and it just goes to show that this wasn't what was happening before, it's still happening now. So, σε αρκετά... I hope the camera got the expression on your face, the comments on there, it's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It is actually sexist, racist and everything. Anyway...
Yeah, do you know what people are scared of?
Είμαι ψαγμένη αρκετά, εκτός κι αν είμαι τσαρλούα. So, we've established ότι είμαι τσαρλούα, therefore, I am allowed, quotation marks, to use both languages. But, if I wasn't a τσαρλούα, το ψαγμένος that they're saying, it means, we're coming back to what I was going to say, is that if you speak Gringlish, if you use both languages, it means that you are not educated enough. Εντάξει. And therefore, basically what they do is they try to belittle you.
Which I think
because θεωρούνται χορκάτικα.
I think you're very educated to be able to speak two languages at the same time.
And yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's not the case, but I was going to say...
Το χειρότερο είδος Κυπρέας ή Εγγλεζοκυπρέα.
Yeah. Yep. Το χειρότερον
But you need to be strong past this. And like,
well, you know, I don't care because I don't
have
TikTok, but
do you know these types of people?
Okay, so here it is. And another reason that Gringlish, this is from an article, is led towards extinction is that it is considered to be inferior to Greek. Just like Cypriot Greek in Cyprus is thought to be chorkatika compared to standard Greek. So the fact that we speak both languages is not something that is a bonus, something that should be considered.
We are
inferior.
We are inferior.
It means that I am, and if you, there's other comments on there saying that I take.
These are quite bad.
I take drugs. Πρέπει να πίνει ναρκωτικά του την πέλη.
Yeah.
I wish.
Too expensive.
It's too expensive. I have 3 kids. Right. I can't do that.
Right, let's let Greek people have a laugh at me reading Greek.
Yes.
I'm going to try and read this because I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
They're all bad. No, they're not all bad. They were good.
This is nice. Μαλάκα, πόσα μου αρέσει που μιλάτε αγγλικά και κυπριακά. That's nice.
That is nice. That is nice.
Oh, unless he put a face like this. I don't know if it's sarcastic or not.
Okay.
Should we? Oh, there's 2 replies. Let's see if is he being sarcastic. I can't read that. Some words are a bit too...
But I was going to say is that the interesting thing is that on your TikTok video, where you are speaking both Greek and English, κανένας δεν είπε τίποτε για σένα, ρε.
Let me try and find... Do you know what it is, though?
Do you know why?
I think they haven't found me yet.
No.
Some of them have. No, because it's like the algorithm. Like, Netcast is putting up Greek and Cypriot podcasts.
Yeah.
And then, like, because even, I think Jan said when he comes, he can tell you or not, when we done my podcast, Milisa Englesiga, Chárlικα.
Yeah.
Είχα σύντζε παράπονο.
There were.
Yeah.
Because ήταν να σου πω that if you go into your TikTok video, no one has commented on your language. Whereas with me, half the comments are... Better, why? Why?
My accent is better than yours.
No, dude.
I sound much better.
No, it's because you have a penis and I have a vagina. That's why. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. That's it. It's easier to attack a woman than it is a man. But let's not get into that.
No. Do you know what? I agree totally. But that's why what I was trying to say to you before is when you see these comments, they act like they can attack because they don't know if you've seen it or anything. I've seen many strong women, like straight away they stick up for what they believe in and protect themselves. These people, they just disappear.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing you need to do. Just protect yourself. I personally, I just brush it off.
No, I didn't. For me, it was the shock that I just wasn't expecting the fact that...
But how did it make you feel?
I mean, for me, it was just bringing up memories of here we go all over again, us men. Why is the way I express myself a problem to you? Why? I did not expect racist comments on that TikTok video. I was expecting sexist comments based on what I was saying. And the only reason why that video went up was because it was a great hook for the interview. But I wasn't, I wasn't expecting comments on me using both English and Cypriot to be such a problem for so many people. And coming again back to the word charlua so many times in those comments. So it's not something that's gone away. It's still there and it's still embedded in our society. Even though you bloody speak English.
No, everyone does now.
Everyone does.
Even my friends at Gibrey speak it.
I know, but everyone does.
It's how you how can I say it? It's how you accept it. You know, like they've said these things. If you let it get to you, it's going to get to you. If you don't and just move on.
It has.
I'm proud of it. You know, if I could speak better Greek, I would. But I can't, so I'm doing the best I can.
Yeah.
So, I can express myself better in... Yeah, you're fluent.
I've even started buying Greek books.
That's all right.
I know.
I can't...
I know.
Look, let me try and read one of these comments. Jan, when I done the podcast on YouTube, there was things about my... Yeah.
Not that many, though.
This means...
This
means...
Basta dico mu Janno? Basta dico mu Janno?
You think it's... Right, 1 minute, let's go back to it. Where is it? Netcast, podcast zone. Do you know what I find weird though?
What?
That there's other people in different countries that they speak broken Greek with English and everything. And I feel like people enjoy it. But then when you're a Kiprea or you're in the country and do you know what I mean? I think maybe it is because of, if they came to your own TikTok video and your own TikTok page and they saw this is the way you speak, they followed you. I think you might have got a different sort of reaction and, you know, from people because they're like, this is how she speaks in English, not this gonna follow, No. But because it was on Netcast zone and it's all Greek, bam, English Kiprea. And she's like, when I first saw it, the first thing I thought about you was like, before I knew we were related, like, oh, she's a strong woman. Like, she says whatever she wants to say. Like, Jan got a good, like, person online. No, but that's what I thought. And like some people, when they see a strong woman, they get scared and they want to try and, like you said, be inferior.
Yeah, no, it was
I'm just like, bravo, you know, like
personal
she's jokes.
Attack. No, but
we must be related because she's funny and she talks a lot as well. I've got curly hair. I make it like this.
Really?
I don't make it like this. Then I'm not product. Like I'm not.
Let it grow.
What do they call me? Maybe that's a bad thing to say. They call me. My friends, they go,
Floofly. He uses that word as well, floofly. I
don't know what a floofly is.
What is a floofly?
It sounds funny, so I'm like, all right, I'm floofly.
A floofly. I don't... Does it mean someone who's feminine, maybe?
Maybe. I'm not feminine.
He's not feminine.
I'm not feminine.
But why would it be a problem if you were feminine, though?
No, it wouldn't be. We're getting off. Listen, I treat every woman, not every woman that I'm, you know, like attracted to, but I always, if I see a woman, because I've got a little sister, I always think if that was my little sister, how would I want her to be treated? Do you know what I mean? So
okay,
I am a.
That's one way to think of it, but that shouldn't just be the only reason.
No, that's not the only reason. Because I'm a good person as well, and
all right.
I would never want anyone to feel bad or anything like that.
Nah. Okay.
We're quite off subject.
Yeah, we've got. You know what? Right. First of all,
my word.
We said we were gonna give each other words to translate, but we're not gonna do that yet. You know what I want to do? I wanted to say a few of the typical Gringlish or Charlistiges words that we grew up with. So,
but some of these, this is what I was going to say as well, that you grew up with, because my Greek is better than my dad's. So, because the way I was living.
But what about your yaya and papu?
And actually, my papu died before I was born. My yaya lived in England, so we left when we was 11, and then and my yaya was.
Did she raise you?
No.
Oh no.
Hebrea. She was like.
Okay, because my mum was working, obviously, so I did spend a lot of time with my yaya, and we used to go to the marketa with the baso. Okay,
she didn't do baso. She was always driving. She shouldn't be driving.
Really?
Oh my god! It was like I've never like feared for my life ever like before.
Your yaya used to drive.
Yeah.
Wow, go yaya.
No, go yaya. Like no, I don't want to go yaya. I couldn't let her go alone, but yet. I didn't really want to go with her.
Yeah, she passed the test, right?
Yeah, when she was like 20, she's like Evdominda and she's driving around still, like trying to roll a cigarette as well. And like, because of the cold, the window's all frosted and she's trying to wipe smoke, do the window and drive. And it's a manual. I feared for my life.
No, don't. Women can multitask.
No. All right, I'm not trying to say women. Look at her switching it on me. Well, go to England. You're going to go in the cold.
I know what you mean there. I know what you mean, but you know, εντάξει. Παλεύκει το οικοτσακάρι. I don't know. Να μου να σου πω. So, I grew up a lot with these words. So, το φυσάδικο.
Φυσάδικο, I thought it was what is...
So, these words are words that I personally grew up with and I genuinely thought they existed.
Same. Like even the like.
Okay, I had no idea that the bus was Leoforion. I thought it was a basso.
All right, I Leoforion. I knew that one.
From England.
Because I was a little kid.
I didn't. For me, it was basso.
Right.
So
when you say fishadigo, say what it actually is.
Fishadigo.
Ναι.
Doesn't everyone know?
Ναι, but what is the actual term in Cypriot?
Oh, in Cypriot.
Ναι.
Energy.
Saro taverna.
No, man. No.
Saro makazi.
Fish place. I don't know, but that's the thing.
Ναι.
That's the thing. Nothing. There is no way for you to translate that word. It is an original, unique word that
made
cannot be Charlúthia.
The next one.
Fishadico. Okay, so frizza.
And the frizza. Yeah.
But it's not. What is it in Greek?
No, in Greek it is the... Κάτι θάλαμο. I'm on it, yeah? Κάτι θάλαμο, το freezer.
Yeah.
Παγόθάλαμο. No?
Κατάψυξη μου.
Who? Am I close? Something θάλαμο.
Κατάψυξη.
I thought she was...
Okay, so το θάλαμο. Ένα λεπτό.
Νομίζω περίμεζε.
Και ο θάλαμος. Να περάσουμε καλά. Να τα βρούμε. Που θα βέσαι να τα βρούμε. Ο θάλαμος. You're right. My mum says that. Αλλά is that an acceptable word by proper Greek standards? Όχι, νομίζω είναι κατάψυξη. Like if you go to Greek mainland and say θάλαμος, I don't think they're going to know what you're talking about.
I think they don't know...
Definitely don't know φυσάδικο.
What's the tap? I said fundana.
Βρύση.
Yeah, I called it
Fundana. That's another
one. And they was like, did they listen to I was like, fundana. Like, you know, and they were like,
oh my God.
And they were like, no, vrisi. I was like, yeah, whatever. That's what I said, isn't it?
You reminded me of something that my friend, she's not even a charlua, but we were in Greece, in Athens. I think this was like high school years. and we were jumping on the beds of the hotel and it broke. And she called downstairs and said to them, because the bed used to be, some people saying carcola.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
carcola.
Yeah,
My mum used to say that. So she translated it into Greek and she said, ναι, γεια σας, θέλω να σας πω ότι έσπασε η καριόλα μου.
Gariola. What's gariola? Isn't that like belly button or something?
Καριόλα?
Yeah.
Καριόλα is a bitch.
Oh.
Is it bitch?
How do you say belly button? Ah, shit, yeah.
Αρφάλι. Αλλά στα ελληνικά,
This is the...
ομφαλός. Ομφαλός.
Είμαι πιο Charlie που ζέρα.
Yeah, for sure you are. For sure you are. I'm gaining ground here. I'm gaining ground here.
Yeah, go
okay,
on.
anyway. Η χούβα.
Η hoover. All right. And the hoover in Greek is...
These aren't your words, by the way.
I know, but they better not be harder than this. I'm telling you.
I've got some good words for you,
Alright,
mate.
go, keep going.
Ηλεκτρική σκούπα. Αλλά it's hoover, and it's always been. Και νομίζω ότι even now, mainland Greek Cypriots say hoover. No one says ηλεκτρική σκούπα.
Ναι, αλλά do you know that when I went to Australia and I said, have you got a hoover? They don't accept that as well because a hoover
It's a brand name, by the way.
Is a brand name,
No.
not what it is.
What it is, yeah.
No, so they didn't even accept. I was like, have you got
So
a
they
hoover?
didn't have hoovers in Australia?
They don't call it. They have hoovers.
They have hoovers, but not the hoover.
They don't call. No, they don't call it hoover. I call a hoover every single brand. That's
No.
no. But it's not like that over there.
No.
They were like, what? What do you want?
Okay. And also, are there words for Greek Cypriots in Australia and America and South Africa like there are for us Chadluthia, like the Billis?
No, I got called Billy.
I used to get called that.
I don't think it stuck. Where did that come from?
Where
Who's
did that?
Billy?
Ποιος είναι ο Billis?
And it has to be to Gero, to Charlie, to that it came. No, or Billy. Yeah, no. The Billy was the front gates, wasn't it, in the Strado?
Billy.
No, the gate.
Oh, yeah, it's similar to Charlie.
No, like what was the front gate in the Strado? No, what was called the Billy? There was something.
Like Charlie.
No, like in the army there was something. I'll think of it.
All right. But I think Billy's is more American for the Greek Cypriots that moved to...
How Bill Gates. Let's say Bill Gates.
Ναι. What's he got to do with it?
I don't know.
Μάνα μου ρε, άις τον τζάμε πόνες. He's had enough shit this year. Καημένος.
Αλλά maybe. Billy's.
All right, well...
So Billy, yeah, but...
Anyway,
No
I used to get called that as well.
Yeah, I got called it as well.
Billissa.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
called Billy.
Right, next one. Τα boksha.
Yeah.
It never used to be Gudin. I never heard that word growing up. It was always do boxing, ta boksha.
And it's the good, isn't it?
And it's do Gudin.
Like you said, I'm just practicing with these words for my real words.
I basketa.
Basket, yeah.
I
Maya said,
basketa. She used to say that a lot. So basketa ndo kalati.
And what there was
The
something
other
about
one,
the trolley, innit?
And the trolley, bravo.
Yeah.
The other one, you said earlier about parkaro, that it's a word that we use, we still use in Cyprus. Also, do chakaro.
Yeah. Yeah, but what is nachakaro?
To check.
Yeah, but that's the word, isn't it?
No.
What is the word in Cypriot?
Διορθώνω ελέγχω.
Elecho is...
Ελέγχω.
But
Να ελέγξω.
Yeah.
It comes from Czech, but it's not the Greek word. It's not the proper Greek word.
Yeah, chakaro.
I kapat.
Cupboard, yeah. I'm trying to think what my AI used to say now.
Pasaportin.
What's pasaporti?
Passport.
Oh, and that's...
No, my yaya used to say
I thought it was
it.
like porti.
Pasaportin. Porto. Is that.
Oh, yeah, porto, yeah.
Porto. I mean, I still say that to my kids. I come, it's Porto.
Am I saying it wrong? With a,
Yes,
am I
Mama.
meant to say it with a P or a B?
What?
Porto.
O Portos είναι η κλανιά.
Ναι.
It's the fart.
It
But
should be the beginning.
you're gonna... But Porto is the action
Porto.
of doing the glanya.
Okay.
Oh my God. I can't
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm
What
asking
else
for
have
it.
you got?
So marketa, but I think a lot of people still say that. Ambula,
Yeah.
ambulance. Okay, and my top one is the notice, notisa.
Notisa, yeah.
My yaya used to say that so much. Many say notisa.
Do you know, my yaya was more...
And for those who don't know Gringlish, when the Chárlíes, it means adachtos adachti.
Yeah.
Naughty.
My yaya used to always call me adactos.
Naughty?
Yeah.
He said notice.
My yaya used to tell me, I love you, but I don't like you. All you do is eat, sleep, and shit. That's what she used to say to me. But she does love me deep down.
Manamu.
I know.
So, notice. That's it. You be good girl, and don't be noticer. Okay.
How?
What?
Oh, naughty. So they got the naughty and the sa.
And noticer. It's
So how do you
just so
say it?
good. It's
Yeah.
just so good. I mean, you can't make these things up.
Could you imagine the first person?
Oh, barberis, re. We still say that. It comes from barber.
No, barberis.
But it's not a Greek word.
It is comatirio or como.
Oh,
Or what is it?
μόνο barberis, re. Είναι ο κομμωτής.
Yeah, I think it is.
What
no?
is he?
Kureas.
Okay,
Kureas.
we can take that.
La barberi, even for them, is easier because they write barbers. It's the way they promote it. The old boys, they write it the old way.
No.
La Torah, barberis.
I mean, my
like you
papu
said,
used
it's
to be a
strange.
barberi.
Yeah, so without really knowing, we're basically saying that even Cypriots today are talking Chárliga.
Sorry to tell you.
Sorry.
Συγγνώμη ρε, guys.
Συγγνώμη ρε, Chárlies. This is to the whole, all of it.
Chinesiga.
Ναι.
It was never Kinesiga. Ήταν
Yeah.
Chinesiga.
My yaya always used to make me... My yaya couldn't cook.
So that is a Chinesiga?
Όχι. Προσπάθησε όμως. She still tried to cook, even though she couldn't. She won't watch this. I don't think. She hasn't got internet.
Okay.
And she used to make me food. I used to have to eat it. It was disgusting.
What was it?
And I was like, να κάτσεις μαζί μου να φάεις. Like, I went into the kitchen one day, I opened the sini, I was like, yeah, έκαμες τραχανά. She was like, όχι, μου να βγω lemon. Like, that's how disgusting it was. I would sit and eat. I was like, να φάεις μαζί μου? She goes, όχι, μου δεν είμαι hungry. And I'll finish, I'll go into the front room. She was like, Παναγί μου, να πάει να μου πιάσεις λίγο κανέζι, like, Chinesica, I think from
Chinesiga
the...
to Indianica.
Yeah, but Indianica is wrong, isn't it? That's not the way...
That's really wrong.
Nee,
There's just so many wrong things about
I thought
that.
it was that way, but how do you say that?
Indica.
Indica.
Nah.
So why did we add that?
And also, they used to call
Indians.
Indians, Hindu people, Punjabi people used to call them Indianos.
And it was the Hindus.
Ήταν Ινδί. But that's another thing, you know, that I moved to Cyprus and I thought an Indianiga, a Chinesiga.
I think I've with the Indianiga, I think when I found out it wasn't Indianiga, I was with a Cypriot and even he was like, it's similar, you know, even he didn't know.
And he was born in the motherland. Dropisure. Microwave. Chipigo.
Chipigo, cheap. Like it's
Chipigon.
cheap.
Chipigon, cheap. Chefis.
All right.
Do you know the words in Greek?
What, chef?
Yeah.
Mairas, no?
Yeah, you can say chef. It's okay. Orange.
Orange, like orange, that's my
Orange squash.
orange squash.
Θέλεις λίν orange? My yaya used to say that. No, you don't remember that one?
No, it's like I'm just trying to remember my yaya. My yaya never used to say these types of things to me.
My yaya used to. I mean, reading
She
these,
was like-
when I came across these words, everything just started pouring back into me. I was like, this is how I grew up. This is the Greek that I would hear, listen to, and absorb as a child. This was my Greek. This was as far as my Greek would go.
I was because I came over here when I was young, and I was living in a village with, you know, I had a stepmom. She was Cypriot. My stepbrother Cypriot. My dad Chárlíes, ανάμεσα. My Greek was better than his. So either we spoke English, or when they did speak Greek, it was like fluent. But like my dad there's words that I never thought that I was making a mistake with as well. Like the gym. Until last year, I thought it was gymnasterio. You know, because it just made sense. And then I realized it's not. It's gymnasterio. Chocolate, I thought it was chocolada. Which
Chocolada.
It just makes sense to me.
It was never called chocolada growing up. It was always chocolada.
No, but it's chocolada, isn't it?
Chocolada.
And my dad wanted to say 1 million once. And he basically made up his own word. He was 1 million. It just sounds
I love that they made up these words.
Yeah, just tried his best, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, you're talking about how old was my yaya when she moved, and my bapud when they moved to England. 30, 40. I mean, imagine having to learn a whole new language and work and live in that environment with words that you've never even heard of.
But what about you? Did you have to learn? Was you fluent in England then you came here?
I was fluent in English. I didn't do any Greek in England.
So when you came to
Cyprus, all my Greek was just from Yaya. I didn't go to Greek school. I didn't go to Greek classes or lessons or anything. All my Greek came from my Yaya and my Bapo and whatever they knew from, you know, up until 1960. Was some words weren't even invented. So when I moved to Cyprus, it was as I said before, a huge shock, and I had to learn. And it was a good thing that I did like language as opposed to maths. I was crap at that. The teacher said to my mum, it's like she can translate this whole thing from Greek to English, but she can't put 2 and 2 together. That's literally what I was just like. My brain's wired that way.
I didn't learn in school because it was like, you know, I couldn't learn in school. This is E, this is O, this is... I could not do it. I got kicked out of school at 16. And then I went and done aluminium with my uncle. So whatever occupation I was doing and wherever I was, like if I was playing football, I would learn the words for football. If I was doing aluminium, I would learn the words that I needed to know there, like being a ferry cafes, you know? So I would go get coffee. When I went into the army, I learned the words that I needed to learn in the army, like anarodiki, anadia. I always got that one. But, you know what I mean? It's a term as well. But yeah, so that's the only way I learned. I had to be in the situation. So like if you spoke to me about politics in Greek now, you would say words that I would have no idea what you're talking about still to this day, because I just learned from where I am, not for not by actually just taking it in.
You know, even me, as you said, I'm fluent in Greek, but there are so many times that I have to look up a very basic word, that I would automatically think of and know in English, but I would have to look it up in Greek.
Has it ever happened to you that you know a word in Greek and you don't know what it is in English? That's even happened to me, and I'm like,
how fucked up is that? How does that make you feel?
Like you forgot the word. Like I was talking to like someone who's not even Greek, and I'd say it, and I'm like, I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, someone asked me recently, σκέφτεσαι στα ελληνικά ή σκέφτεσαι στα αγγλικά? And that was I thought that was a really interesting question, because it just goes to show that I think most of English Cypriots of my generation do think in English, have more to do with English literature than they do with Greek.
Yeah.
But imagine what's going on, thinking in English, but having to translate that and have it come out of your mouth in Greek. Every single day of your life, whatever you do, even my podcast, it was completely out of my comfort zone doing the podcast in Greek. I'd much rather do it in English.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy because I find it much easier to express myself in English.
That's why I only try and speak English. But
I forced myself and I made myself learn certain basic words that I would never hear just walking around being a Cypriot all day. I had to look into them and find out what they meant and do the whole translation in my head.
When I do the song translations sometimes... I thought, obviously I translate some stuff just to read it through and everything. And at one point I copied you see the Greek letters and then the English letters.
Yeah.
So I copied the English letters and I was trying to read it. And I felt it was easier to read the Greek than read the English because of the way, like, you know, the x,
Yeah.
you know, and then they tried to do it in English, or the, you know, like the way they write in English, I don't know how to read that. You know, when I see the Greek letter, I know how to pronounce that letter.
Oh,
do you know what I mean?
man.
So I prefer
do.
to read Greek
Yeah.
to speak Greek, obviously, than I do with the English letters. I don't know. Everything's just strange.
It is. It's so strange,
Yeah.
isn't it? Being both. Living in both worlds, thinking in both languages, trying to express yourself in both languages.
But even a Greek guy the other day, like, he knows the Cypriot, but he called me Cypriot Smurf because he doesn't know English, and that's if you read. So that's what I'm doing a mistake on as well.
Yeah.
That's why if he wrote it in maybe Greek letters, he could.
Yeah, it's the pronunciation.
Yeah.
You obviously have to know. So a few of the words that Greek Cypriots still use, roundabout.
Roundabout.
Who says gigligongombo?
Who wants to say that? You know what I mean? Like, that's too long.
Roundabout. Okay. Remote control.
Remote control is was it moklo? No, that's control. What's moklo? That's a word.
It's something, a device that lets you control.
Mohlo is...
Ah.
Anyway, remote control is telecontrol. Telechiristírio.
Tele-
Say that.
Say it.
Telechiristírio.
Dilehiristirio.
Chiristírio.
Dilehiristirio.
Hey, you said it.
Yeah.
Bravo, re.
Do you know people from Kochinotrimitka wanted to kill me at one point because I couldn't say it, and now fluent in Kochinotrimitka
There you go.
and otorinolaryngologos.
Oh!
Bringing out the big guns.
Wow, re. I'm impressed, man.
Can you
Bravo.
say it?
Otorinolaryngologos.
All right, of
I
course.
can
She's
say
been practicing.
it. She's been practicing.
Just for today.
I've been practicing for today. Nah. Anyway, so do you want to do our words?
Our words.
Our words.
By the end of this podcast, we both won't be able to speak English or Greek.
I think I'm going to need a day to just digest everything that we're saying now, and really, honestly. Anyway, so what we said we would do, based on your video that you did last year on give me words in English to translate in Greek. Yeah. I called you and I said that you are going to come up with Cypriot words or phrases that I have to translate into English.
Yeah.
And I am going to come up with English words that you need to translate into Greek.
Yes. And if any of the ones that are too rude on my list, then we cut them out, yeah? Because I feel like...
Είπαμε τούτα ούλα που είπαμε και τώρα λαλεί να κάνει cut. Ρε μα ξέρεις πόσα είπαμε?
No, τούτα.
I think we've said...
Haven't
we said like really bad things?
I get called these words that I'm going to tell you on a daily basis. So I don't feel like they're just like natural to me, but they could be quite rude. Anyway, but we'll start off easy. Who goes first? And you've got the upper hand. Because series, Eleni, guys.
But that's the thing.
5, 6.
People have more expectations from me, so the pressure is on, man.
I have some words here that cannot be directly translated. So...
Thank you. Go. Just go. All right.
All right. We'll start easy. Αυκιασερός.
Αυκιασερός. I honestly wouldn't even know how. The first thing that I think of is lazy, but it's not. I don't know. What is it?
Oh, you didn't tell me to get the answer.
No, seriously. Okay. Αυκιασερός.
Yeah, I would say lazy.
Oh my God. Too much time on your hands. There's no one word for it.
There's no one. All right, use a couple more words. No. Can't be fucked.
Can't be fucked. Can't be asked. I love that expression.
But it
can't
isn't
be
as
asked.
Well.
It's not αυκιασερός.
Μα είσαι αυκιασερός.
And it's almost like it's an insult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Είσαι αυκιασερός. It never
too
comes
much time on your hands.
Yeah, you've got too much time, and you should not have so much time on your hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Score. No, not really.
Are we going to do 1-1 or?
No. Κάμε τα εσύ, κάμε εγώ ύστερα.
Right.
What's it?
Πουβλακωμένος.
Αποβλακωμένος.
Is it αποβλακωμένος?
Yeah, what have you got down there?
Πουβλακωμένος.
Πουβλακωμένος.
I can't even write it. Αποβλακωμένος, right? Is that one word? Yeah.
Αποβλακωμένος, ναι. Αποβλακωμένος. I don't know.
I got some good ones.
Παλαβωμένος is sort of like thing, isn't it? Αποβλακωμένος. You're gone. Stoned? No. What's stoned? No.
Μαστρωμένος.
Okay, αποβλακωμένος is a good one. It's a good one.
It would be better if I wrote it correctly.
Yeah, okay. Next. I'm so glad I've
Here
got
we go.
difficult ones for you.
Τσόφτες.
Arlumbes. Choftes. There's
I feel like I could translate that.
what?
Oh, you can try that. I would say bullshits.
Bullshit did come to mind,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have that impact where she chofta.
All right.
Because amanin nabis chofta, it means that it's completely irrelevant and nene
Yeah.
chofta.
All right, I got to try and read this one first to be able to say it to you. Every time I try to read this, I fuck it up. Eşek siksi.
Fuck it.
Is that where?
Yeah, that's it. That one I know. That one I know. Eşek siksi. You have to say it. You have to say it and put passion into it. Eşek siksi. You got the
Yeah.
don on jame. Έλα σου πω να βάλεις μόνο ανώ το 18 πας στο βίντεο.
Επέτασε.
Το πουλί που λαλούμε.
I'm just saying words.
It flew off.
It flew off. Here we go. There was one that they said that you wouldn't be able to translate. Where is it? Apparo με την βάκλα.
Oh my god, I haven't heard that one in a long time.
How?
Πάρω με τη βάκλα. Να μπουν η βάκλα.
This is the one they
Να μπουν η
know.
βάκλα.
You
Help
can't
me. Really?
Food.
I don't know. No.
Απάρω με τη βάκλα. Που είναι η απάρω με τη βάκλα. Is that like
Don't say baklava.
απάρω με τη βάκλα? Okay, so when do we say it? Απάρω με τη βάκλα.
I'm
Όχι
just-
απάρω.
Ναι, όχι apparo.
No shitting me.
But we said translate the word. Horse
Horse
with the
waggle.
a vakla is a wagon. You don't know.
Is that all you got? They were good ones, by the way.
They were good, didn't it?
Έχεις κι άλλα?
Sikime.
Sikime is kind of like a sheksiksi. Fuck it. Sikime. Because I thought sheksiksi είναι a sheksiksi.
Making her think. My ones are good.
Yours are good, yeah.
Yeah, but you speak English. Your ones to me are going to have a problem. And the last one that I've got in trouble with a lot of times, and no one really knows a word to translate it, is matsuja. One word.
Oh, matsuja. So so the expression would be ekame matsuja.
Yeah.
I don't know. Matsuja. What would it be? Malagia. Ekame's mistake. Matsuja is a mistake.
I actually thought matsuja was bless you. Because every time I used to sneeze when I was doing aluminia, my boss used to say to me, matsuja. This is a true story. Did I ever tell you this?
He should have said metesi yesu.
He told me matsuja. So for nearly a whole year, I thought matsuja was bless you.
And whenever someone would sneeze, you'd say matsuja. Didn't you get hit?
We went to get paid at the bank, and I had my check with him. And I gave my check, and the lady behind the counter, she sneezed. Jiba, this matsuja. And she wanted to kill me. My boss was on the floor, and I didn't get my check cashed
You
out.
didn't get it, did
No,
you?
I had to go
Not
wait.
surprised, mate. I'm not surprised. Should we go to my ones?
Oh, here we go.
Are you ready?
This is going to be embarrassing. I'm sorry.
They're not easy, I have to admit. Mic drop.
Mic drop. A peasant. All right, word for word.
Είπαμε να μην το κάνουμε έτσι. I didn't do it that way.
Mic
so you have to
drop.
come up with one.
Isn't mic μικρόφωνο?
Yeah.
Έπαιζεν... Όχι, άφιστον μικρόφωνο.
Αφιστόν.
Άφιστον μικρόφωνο.
Μικρόφωνο.
Ναι.
Okay.
Leave the mic.
Ρίψε το.
Mama, you got to say to... Oh, you're saying it... No, you're saying it to me in English.
You've got to translate it into Greek. Mic drop.
Oh, I just did.
Yeah. All right.
I thought that was the best I could do.
Εντάξει, μάνα μου. Okay.
I'm getting like
Άκουμε.
graded as well.
Hangry.
Hangry.
Right. So hangry is a new word for the English vocabulary. It is hungry and angry.
But you want me to make up this word. Do you know... Just tell me, is there a word in Greek for this?
No.
All right, so I've got to make up a word now. Yeah. Angry, vriasmenos. Hungry, πεινασμένος. Right, so 1 minute. All right, be and vri. 1 minute. I need to write it down. This is hard. 1 minute. I'm going to do this.
Είναι νευριασμένος και πεινασμένος.
Why not vriasmenos? I'm angry.
Νευριασμένος.
Why do I always say vriasmenos?
I don't know. I like
nevra, because nevriasmenos. Yeah? This is making history now. We're making up a word.
You are going to leave here so much smarter than when you first walked in. And now you know what the nevriasmenos and nenevriasmenos. Don't look at the camera. It's true. You just learned a new word.
This is my word. I'm trying to save time with the syllables. All right. Nevriasmenos, πεινασμένος. So we're going to say πευριασμένος.
Ooh,
boom.
There you go.
Made up a new word. Hungry. Peter, Cypriot Smurf. What did I say? Πευριασμένος. That means hungry.
Next one. Clickbait.
Clickbait. Click and the click. Clickbait.
There actually is a translation for this, but we don't use it.
Πάντα.
Και πιάσ' του.
Bait. Πάντα φέρτο.
Είναι πιασάρικον κλικ ή κλικ δόλωμα. Bait is δόλωμα.
Δόλωμα.
Yeah, the little σκουλουκούιν. So
I wasn't going to get that.
They weren't going to get that, no. But there is, what's that? No. Keep trying.
So everyone watching, I'm sorry.
We are overall sorry and not sorry at the same time. Cringe, which has slowly come into the Greek vocabulary as well. Yeah. People are using it. Cringearo.
I was going to say that I've heard people go, πολλά cringe.
Cringeara.
Yeah, so what is cringe in Greek?
So what is cringe?
Cringe. I thought cringe.
Cringeara. So what I thought.
Yeah.
Αντρέπουμε γυαλό σου. And then, because when you eat...
It's like I'm ashamed, though.
I'm ashamed for you. Cringearo because of something you said.
Yeah, but I think ashamed is different to cringe. I think there isn't a word for cringe.
No, there isn't.
Have you Googled it?
Did I? I can't remember if I did.
I'm doing it on Google because I don't think there is a word for cringe. Cringe in Greek. Or in...
What is it?
Oh, man. Μαζεύομαι.
No.
This is Greek.
No, because in Greek when you say μαζεύτω, it means pull yourself together, sort of thing.
Μαζεύομαι.
Next.
Why isn't there Cypriot on Google?
Εν το ήβρες. Oblivious. And there's a really good Cypriot translation for this.
Oblivious.
Can I say it? Can I say it?
1 minute. This isn't Christmas.
How long do now that you've said Christmas?
Can I think? All right,
Santa Claus comes when if you live in Cyprus, he comes on New Year's Eve. He doesn't come on Christmas Eve. I remember growing up, we used to always open our presents on Christmas Day because Santa would come on Christmas Eve, and οι Κυπραίοι were like, "What?" And την πρωτοχρονιά που έρχεται ο Άγιος Βασίλης.
And maybe they're just trying to get the discounts.
So my parents used to feel bad and they used to get presents both times.
You're lucky.
No.
Oblivious. Oblivious is... Μα είσαι πολλά Κρουσμένος. I don't know.
Oblivious.
I bet it's like a Greek word. Oblivious is
Can I say it?
Yeah, we'll say it together. 1, 2.
Πέραβρεση.
Πέραβρεση.
Πέραβρεση. When you're oblivious to something, it's like πέραβρεση. Στην Καραμανιά
Is that a real word or is it like,
no,
you know,
it's a Cypriot saying. But you want the proper words?
Yeah.
Okay, because we're learning here, είπαμε, ναι. Okay, so...
Chárlιες μαθαίνουν.
Οι Chárlιες μαθαίνουν. Oblivious in Greek. Ανήξερος. Όχι.
Ανήξερος. Yeah, that makes sense. Like the guy, he doesn't know.
No, but
Someone
when you're
who doesn't
oblivious,
know.
it means that you're... It means that you choose to be...
No, but you don't choose to be.
What do you mean you don't choose to? You're oblivious to...
What's going on.
This,
so like you're just...
πούμε.
Yeah, but it's not... Sometimes it's not a choice.
Επιλύσμον. Επιλύσμον.
I was going to say επιλύσμον.
I'm sure you were. I really am. That is just... I've never heard of that word before.
What other one have you got?
Επιλύσμον. Okay.
Was that your last one?
No, it wasn't my last one.
Jesus,
you
God help
wish.
us.
Background.
Background είναι... Background. Back and... Ground and... Πίσω πάτωμα. Is that wrong?
Of course it is.
Oh. Oh, she gave me that as well. I thought, hell yeah. Backdrop. Background.
Background. Vienes στον background. We say that.
Είναι μες στον background.
Okay.
What is the word?
Φόντο.
Πού να τον έβρω τούτο.
Μάθες αλώνα.
Φόντο.
Stunning.
Κούκλος. Κουκλάρας.
Είδες, γιατί είπες κούκλος και δεν είπες κούκλα. It's not.
I said both. I tried to say it in
Stunning.
both. You can't even give me a second. You know, like, κούκλο. Sexist.
Εκπληκτικός, no, εκείνος που το μάθαινα, αλλά είδες που τον έμαθα καλά. Εκπληκτικός, εκπληκτική. Εκθαμποτικός, εκθαμποτική.
Who's this?
Who's that? Stunning.
Yeah, no, we're going to stay with stunning.
Εκθαμποτική. Is that, am I even saying it right?
Εκθαμποτική.
Stunned. Like
just
surprised in a good way.
Stunned, ναι. Το stunned, stunning. Εκπληκτική, εκπληκτικός.
Εκπληκτική.
I've got a really good one.
Go on then.
I had to Google it though.
Alright.
Coaster.
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 Το coaster είναι...
Τι είναι στα ελληνικά? Ναι. What is it? What's the word in Greek?
Coaster.
Πατούι.
Is it πατούι?
No.
Είναι... Coaster is... I
Dude,
swear I know this.
αν το έβρις... I mean... αν το έβρις. I don't think.
Θέλω... τώρα. Coaster is...
Do you actually know it?
You're going to tell me and I'm going to be like, yeah, I knew that.
Really? Shall I say it?
Yeah.
Souver.
I knew that.
Souver, dude.
Souver. That sounds like sovraga.
No, I mean, I don't think...
If someone told me, fere το souver, I was going to bring my sovraga and put it on the table. Souver.
Why?
That sounds French. Souver.
Souver. So if you go... Souverer.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying what you're saying.
So if you go to Greece, they will know what a souver is.
Yeah.
But I find it highly unlikely αν παίζεις στον καφέ του χορκού and say, δώσ' μου ένα souver, that they're going to go, okay.
Yeah, I doubt it. I'm going to practice that.
It's one of those things, actually, I think, one of those words that there is no Cypriot word for it because we just say chindo prama.
Ναι.
It's like with that thing you said the other day.
That's how I'm going to use
with
it.
the cotton buds. And badonetta. But chindo mascaraliki για τα αυτιά. No one says badonetta. Do you say badonetta?
At home...
Chinon των αυτιών.
Your family Cypriot? No. Yeah, I know your background, but at home, what language do you speak? you're not the best person to ask this question. And I guess you're the same. Do you speak Greek or English or mix?
At home,
Yeah.
it's a mix. With my parents, so it's English.
Έχει κανένα full Κυπρέο δαμέ να ρωτήσω.
Τι θέλεις ρε πέ?
Like, I want to know, at a Cypriot household,
Yeah.
are they talking Cypriot all day long?
Of course
or
they are.
These English words, they come out.
Ναι, σίγουρα. And any person of any generation is going to say μπάρκαρα ή τσάκαρα. Of course they're going to say it. Και ο 20χρονος και ο 80άρης. No one's going to say εστάθμευσα ή έλεγξα το.
But do you think it's
Unless-
in Cyprus, and like, because in Greece, I feel like because
Yeah.
of their dialect, not dialect, because of their language, they speak more
Yeah.
Greek.
And that's why I've just completely given up on trying to speak Greek when I'm in Greece.
Do you know
It's Cypriot. And με κατάλαβες με. I'm sorry. I'll try, allow σε ένα σημείο.
I went to Greece twice for bachelor, and I always wanted to talk with a Greek prophora to try and blend in, because obviously that's all that's missing is the prophora. And I used to call everyone balakari, ela balakari, ela balakari. I was in the taxi. The taxi drivers were leshy, they were leshy. At one point, I go to do you know from Friends, and Ross goes unagi. I was like, nah. I was like, ela balakari. He was like, ela balakari. I was like, ξέρεις τι είναι το unagi? He was like, όχι παλακάρι μου, μόνο το μουνάκι ξέρω. It's so funny.
Very funny.
Oh,
Can we go on with my words now, please?
Oh, we've got more.
There's two more and we're done. Shredded.
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 Fetters. Αφού είμαι. But just don't let me take my t-shirt off.
Last one. Horny.
Horny. Horny.
There's a Cypriot word for this.
I know one.
Horny.
Καυλωμένος. Is that not it?
Why didn't you say καυλωμένη?
There's another word. Έχει κι άλλη λέξη όμως for horny.
What?
Όχι. Καυλωμένος. Oh, what is it? Oh,
Doesn't happen much. No.
those are my words.
All right. I think we both smashed it.
I think we did.
I feel like there's going to have to be like some edit, some voiceovers on this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like no, we done good.
I feel like anything can come from this.
Literally, we made so much fun of ourselves. Nothing else. No one can say anything.
That means that you can't make fun of us anymore.
Yeah, we done like the 8 Mile beat. Like, was it B Rabbit? Yeah, we made fun of ourselves. So whatever you write in the comments, it's okay.
It's okay.
And but I feel we need to do like an overview of the word in our conversation in general. I feel like we made it quite fun, and we spoke about a bit serious as well. And I feel like we just need to take everyone's feelings. Everyone is different. Everyone gets offended by different things. So if someone is to be called a Chárlie and they don't like it, don't call them a Chárlie. If someone doesn't mind it, go ahead, call him a Chárlie. And a wise woman was said to me, I won't say her name, some people have too much time on their hands to be offended. So if you just like stop getting offended by stupid little words and things and focus on bigger issues in the world will be a better place.
That I agree 100%, but also the fact that we need to be more accepting of the fact that different people, due to their background, due to their history, speak and express themselves in different ways.
Yeah, I agree.
That does not mean that they are less, okay, or uneducated or unknowledgeable, or they haven't taken the time to learn the language. It's just the way that we express ourselves and the way that we talk.
And like we're both on not different sides, we're both on both sides, but even for someone, if someone calls an Ingleso Kipreo or someone that was raised in England a Chárlie, you need to, like I said, you need to know what they might not know, because they're young as well. They just might know this is a nice word. They don't know where it came from. So they're not trying to be insulting or rude or anything.
Yeah.
So we just
But it does. The context matters, as you said.
Like George Carlin said. That's what George Carlin said. He goes, you know, it's not the word. Like, words are just words. It's the context and the racist person behind it that you should be worrying about. So words are words. And
don't be racist. Don't be racist. Don't be sexist. It's not cool.
No, it's not cool.
It's not cool. I'm just making a point of that for all my TikTok commenters.
We see you.
We see comments.
We're reporting you to your mum and daddies.
So, το χειρότερο είδος Κυπρέας ή Εγγλεζοκυπρέα και ο Chárllies ποδά.
Yeah, είμαι Chárllies, I'm proud. I've worked hard to be a Chárlie and to be called a Chárlie, so no one's taking that away from me. And my character's called Chárlie, so I can't call him something else. I can't call him Billy. It just doesn't have the same ring to it.
Thank you, Cuz.
No, thank you, Aunt Cuz. It was really nice. I enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to seeing the comments.
Yeah, me too.